Are you an Enneagram 9 and have heard the word merging? Have you been studying Enneagram and understand what merging is and kind of want to know a little bit more about how to prevent it and how to move past it? I'm Allie Kochert. I am a therapist and spiritual guide at Rooted Growth Counseling and Root Grow Thrive. I work with folks in reclaiming their power and purpose in life and bounce back from burnout. So when it comes to Enneagram 9s, one of the things that often Enneagram teachers teach is that 9s typically lose themselves, and often in relationships, people, places, and things. That losing of oneself can look like what is called merging. Merging is one of those terms that may feel a little bit difficult to understand. So I'm going to discuss a little bit about what merging looks like for Enneagram 9s, and that may help you or someone that you know that may be a 9. So what's known about 9s is that the self, or the internal self, is often put aside in relationships. The hopes that conflict would be diminished. The idea that conflict is bad, or that our anger or disappointment or irritability is one of those things that could damage relationships and connections. So therefore we dismiss it or put it down, put it away, dissociate, and that kind of thing. So when we do that, we often move towards people or relationships in order to feel connected, and instead of feeling drawn into ourselves and out, move into our truth, we instead merge with someone else's truth, or merge and move into someone else's idea of what is good or right or the next step. This is kind of like a joke in the Enneagram community. Don't ask a 9 where they want to eat, because usually 9s, by and large, well, where do you want to eat? You know, there's a dismissing or a dissociation from, I actually have opinions about something. And this is tricky because 9s can look at that and say, no, I'm just trying to be nice. I'm trying to make sure everyone has their needs met, or I genuinely don't know or care. The problem is, over time, and usually a lifetime, usually about halfway, will come to me, in distress. Is I don't even know myself. I don't know what I like. I don't know my needs. So there's 3 ways that merging can show up. Is this idea of false humility. So similar to what I said about, well, I don't really have needs. I don't really care. I really just want someone else to be happy. That can come across as seemingly humble, and that can come across as, oh, I just have everyone else's best interests in mind. For 9s, it actually is based in an idea that we actually are avoiding conflict or discomfort in ourselves. So when we displace our discomfort and say, you get to choose, or you get to have the opinion, we don't get to sit with that discomfort of, gee, I may have an opinion, or I don't know my opinion and I need to sit with what that's like. That can come across as a humility, and to other people, it can be really frustrating in relationships, because 9s can be very dismissive of their own needs, so that the partner who would want them to express themselves is at a loss, because then they, and generally, 9s tend to then withdraw. They're withdrawing types, 9s, 4s, and 5s. So in relationships, if presented with stress or conflict, there generally is a less assertive and more withdrawing kind of reaction. Another sign of merging is saying yes too much. So when 9s are sort of sure, and they end up being stretched thin. That just happens a lot with a lot of, especially women who are in relationship and they feel like they don't have a voice. Women have to have this idea of shouldering a burden or a heavier burden when it comes to holding relationships. So in general, saying yes too much is also lack of boundaries, is merging. It's the ability, or the awareness that, oh, I don't really know what I need, so therefore I'll just, sure. And in the end, that can be quite exhausting, not particularly healthy. The third and final way merging can show up is that it is dismissing of your talents and your values. So when you've merged, when we merge with other people, we give away our power and we give away what we can offer. So sure, you can drive the bus in this situation. Basically gives you lack of control over your own expression of yourself. That can in turn prevent you from exploring your own talents and showing people what you bring to the table and all of your gifts. You can feel stifled in relationships, or you can still feel stifled in work and not feel like anyone's hearing you. So I'm going to give you 3 tips to help you with these merging tendencies. First of all, set some boundaries. So where in your life are you saying yes too much? Where do you need to say no a little bit more? So maybe, shore up the places in your life where you feel on a gut level, because we're being in the gut center. So think about where in your gut do you know, that could use some boundaries around. And start small. Start with one small thing that you could say yes to this, or no to this week. Where is one small place that you can set a boundary around? Secondly, create a value list. What do you value in your life? What are the big capital V values? Where are you exploring them personally? Not related to what other people want or need in your life. So what are the moments that you could express your values? Where can you move into your talents? And where can you share that? Remember, 9's go to 3 in strength. That is our learning curve. So think about what 3s do. They really are out there with their talents usually. So to a high level of 3 means go out there. Say that I'm good at this and here. You want to hear it? Finally, my final tip for helping you with merging is tell someone that you're working on merging, you're working on ways to help set up your boundaries. Talk to someone who is loving, who's loves you unconditionally and is a partner in life, or a friend, a companion, spiritual director, a therapist. Use them as an accountability partner. That's often what we 9s need, is other people in our lives who can help shore us up in our own purpose and power. So instead of leaning on them, but rather they are right beside you, cheering you on in your own opening up to yourself and your own heart, and sharing what your values and goals are in life. So I hope that was helpful. I have a few more Enneagram 9 videos linked here below. So check those out if you're an Enneagram 9 or have one in your life and want to know a little bit more of how to navigate 9ness. So be well, and like and subscribe so that you can get more content whenever I upload new videos and teachings on this. Take care.